I would like to warmly welcome this conference on the Nicosia Convention. In the preamble, the Convention makes the link between cultural heritage and the effects its destruction has on people. And this is what my mandate as the United Nations Special Rapporteur in the field of cultural rights focuses on. Not the protection of cultural heritage per se, but the rights of individuals and communities to cultural heritage and culture in general. In focusing on the implementation of cultural rights, my role, created in 2009, aims to give greater visibility to cultural rights and to foster a better understanding of what cultural rights entail, of the severity of their violations and of the opportunities of their realization for all. The Nicosia Convention is important to my mandate because the unlawful appropriation, exploitation and falsification of cultural objects may deeply affect individuals and communities. Everyone has the right to participate freely to culture, and such crimes put obstacles to this right. Therefore, a human rights framework in interpreting and applying the Nicosia Convention is of paramount importance. Very recently, in December 2022, the committee of another related convention, the UNESCO Committee monitoring the second protocol of the 1954 Hague Convention, decided explicitly to include a human rights and cultural rights perspective in its work. The United Nations has a clear set of standards on cultural rights, including Article 15 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. And my mandate would strongly encourage these standards to be followed when interpreting and applying the Nicosia Convention. Cultural rights must be taken into account, for example, in defining the gravity of the offences that the Convention establishes, the effect that the theft, the cultural misappropriation, the destruction or removal or falsification of the cultural object on the cultural rights of individuals and groups has to be a deciding factor on the gravity of these crimes. Cultural rights will also be important in identifying which cultural objects are to be protected, in ensuring the participation of the concerned persons and communities in assessing the value of the objects and the most adequate forms of reparations, and ultimately in ensuring that a bottom-up approach is applied in these matters, including the narrative constructed and transmitted about the offences. The ongoing work of the UN Human Rights Council since 2016 to implement cultural rights in the protection of cultural heritage, the repeated commitment by states to this cultural rights approach, and the need to further coordinate to make sure that this approach is mainstreamed are important elements in our further collaboration on the implementation and interpretation of the Nicosia Convention. I wish this conference fruitful discussions and look forward to working together on these elements.